There comes a point in every relationship where a man must choose peace over chaos. If your woman constantly disrespects your boundaries, manipulates your emotions, or drains your energy, it's time to take a step back. Stoicism teaches that emotional stability and self-respect are far more valuable than temporary attachment. You can't control how someone treats you, but you can control how long you allow it. When a woman's actions begin to disturb your peace, a Stoic man doesn't argue. He observes. He doesn't chase or plead for respect. He walks away with quiet strength. The ability to detach from toxic behavior is not coldness, it's power. A Stoic man values his inner calm over the drama of constant conflict. And when she realizes you won't engage in emotional games, she'll see the true weight of your silence. Leaving doesn't mean weakness, it means mastery over self. You don't need revenge, closure, or validation. You simply move forward, focused on growth, purpose, and clarity. A man who stands firm in his principles will always attract peace after walking away from chaos. Stoicism reminds us, sometimes the strongest move you can make is to leave. A Stoic man understands that love without boundaries quickly turns into chaos. When respect fades and manipulation begins, it's not love anymore. It's control. Setting firm boundaries isn't about dominance or ego, it's about self-respect. A man who doesn't enforce boundaries invites emotional instability into his life, allowing disrespect to grow unchecked. Boundaries are not walls. They are gates that protect your peace and energy from being drained by those who do not value them. When a woman constantly tests your patience, ignores your limits, or mocks your values, that's a sign to stand firm. A Stoic man doesn't argue or beg to be understood. He simply reinforces his line and walks away if it's crossed. The power lies not in convincing her to respect you, but in showing that you will not tolerate disrespect. Every time you enforce your boundary, you teach others how to treat you, and that lesson builds strength and dignity. Chaos thrives where boundaries are weak. The moment you start excusing toxic behavior, you begin to lose control over your own peace. A Stoic man recognizes this and chooses discipline over drama. He doesn't chase harmony with people who create conflict. He withdraws to protect his mind and spirit. That quiet withdrawal is not fear. It's mastery. It's the ability to walk away from what threatens your stability. In the end, choosing boundaries over chaos defines a man's character. It's not about control, it's about self-worth. You don't need to yell, explain, or justify your decision to anyone who refuses to respect your peace. You simply act, calmly and decisively. The woman who values you will respect those boundaries. The one who doesn't will remove herself. Either way, you win, because your peace remains intact. A Stoic man understands that protecting his peace is not selfish, it's survival. When a relationship becomes a constant source of anxiety, disrespect, or emotional exhaustion, the wise choice is to guard your inner calm. Peace of mind is the foundation of strength, and once you sacrifice it for chaos, you begin to lose control over your own life. Protecting your peace means setting firm boundaries and refusing to compromise them for temporary comfort. You cannot find peace with someone who thrives on conflict. A woman who provokes, manipulates, or constantly tests your patience is not challenging you. She's draining you. A Stoic man recognizes the difference between love and emotional warfare. He doesn't engage in endless arguments to prove his point. Instead, he chooses silence, distance, and clarity. Protecting your peace requires walking away from those who disrupt it, no matter how much you care. True peace is built on discipline and self-respect. When you prioritize your mental and emotional stability, you become untouchable. You stop reacting to every insult or mood swing, and you start responding with calm certainty. A Stoic man knows that not everything deserves his attention. By protecting his peace, he keeps his energy focused on growth, purpose, and progress. That strength alone commands more respect than any argument ever could. In the end, protecting your peace is a form of power. You are not obligated to stay where your soul feels unsettled. A woman who values you will never force you to sacrifice your peace for her validation. The Stoic path teaches that peace is not found, it is preserved. When you master this truth, no one can take your calm and no chaos can touch your spirit. A Stoic man understands that not every battle is worth fighting. When chaos begins to replace peace, his first instinct is not to argue, but to withdraw with strength and clarity. Walking away calmly is not avoidance, it is self-control in its purest form. It's the realization that peace of mind will always be worth more than proving a point. When a woman disrespects your boundaries or tests your patience repeatedly, silence becomes your greatest weapon. Instead of reacting in anger, a Stoic man observes and decides. He knows that by staying calm, he maintains power over himself and the situation. Emotional stability is rare, and that rarity commands respect. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop allowing someone to control your emotions. A Stoic man recognizes that love cannot thrive in chaos. By walking away, he protects his dignity and sends a silent message that his peace is non-negotiable. He understands that losing someone who disrespects him is never truly a loss. In the end, walking away calmly is not about punishing her. It's about honoring yourself. You don't shout, beg, or seek revenge. You leave with grace, knowing that strength lies in restraint. A man who can walk away without losing composure is a man who has mastered both his emotions and his destiny. A Stoic man knows that silence carries more strength than 1,000 arguments. When chaos rises and emotions run high, speaking less becomes an act of control. Silence doesn't mean weakness, it means dominance over impulse. The ability to stay quiet while others lose composure shows mastery of self. In a world full of noise and ego, calm silence demands the most attention. When a woman disrespects you or tries to provoke a reaction, a Stoic man doesn't argue or defend himself endlessly. He understands that reacting emotionally only feeds the chaos. Instead, he withdraws his energy, maintaining a firm and steady calm. That quiet confidence is unsettling to those who expect emotional drama. It sends a message louder than words ever could. You cannot be manipulated. Silence creates space for reflection and control. It allows you to think before you act, to respond with wisdom rather than emotion. By remaining quiet, you take away her power to control your mood or direction. The one who stays calm holds control of the situation. Stoicism teaches that silence is the armor of the strong. It protects peace and exposes truth without conflict. In relationships, silence becomes your statement. You don't chase, you don't explain, you don't beg to be understood. You simply step back and let your absence speak. A Stoic man's silence reveals what words cannot, that his value doesn't depend on attention or validation. When you master silence, you master the battlefield of emotion, and that mastery commands respect without saying a single word. A Stoic man knows that the way you leave says more about your strength than the way you stay. When a relationship becomes toxic, disrespectful, or one-sided, walking away with dignity is the ultimate display of self-respect. You don't argue, you don't beg, and you don't explain yourself endlessly. You leave quietly, not out of anger, but out of clarity. A man who values his peace understands that walking away gracefully is not defeat, it's victory over chaos. Leaving with dignity means choosing your self-worth over emotional turmoil. When you detach with composure, you send a powerful message. You are not dependent on anyone's validation. You refuse to let disrespect define your story. Stoicism teaches that true power lies in emotional control, and leaving without drama embodies that principle. You exit calmly, not to prove a point, but to protect your peace, knowing that your silence carries more weight than any argument ever could. A man who leaves with dignity doesn't seek closure or revenge. He knows that peace is found within, not in explanations or apologies. The Stoic mindset frees you from the need to be understood by those who refuse to see your worth. You don't linger in broken places trying to fix what doesn't want to heal. Instead, you move forward with quiet strength, confident that your growth will speak louder than your pain. In the end, leaving with dignity is the highest form of self-mastery. You remain composed, unbothered, and focused on your own journey. You don't chase what's lost, you trust what's ahead. Stoicism reminds you that your power lies in restraint, and your peace is your prize. When you walk away with dignity, you prove that no one, not even heartbreak, can break your spirit. A Stoic man's greatest power lies not in his words, but in his actions. Knowing when to walk away, protect his peace, and preserve his dignity defines his strength. Relationships may come and go, but inner calm and self-respect must remain untouchable. True mastery is found in the ability to stay composed when everything else demands reaction. Stoicism teaches that not every loss is a defeat. Sometimes it's liberation. When you choose silence over chaos and peace over drama, you reclaim control of your life. Leaving a toxic relationship doesn't weaken you. It refines you. You emerge wiser, stronger, and more grounded in who you are. Every ending becomes a lesson in emotional discipline and self-mastery. In the end, peace is the highest form of power. A man who learns to value his peace above all else becomes unshakable. He doesn't chase, beg, or explain. He simply moves forward with purpose and calm. That is the essence of Stoicism: to live with strength, leave with grace, and let silence speak where words never could.